This week on Pretty and Pride, we discuss our views on Sinners. Spoiler alert, great film. We spent some time talking about the Met Gala, the outfits, the themes. We go to Sam's Club for the first time and talk about how it feels in contrast to Costco. And as always, we end with our weekly ins and outs. Thanks for listening.
We gon' trap out any city, grab a bow and run through it. I'm addicted to these presents, every day I get to it. This that money making music, you can move some dog to it.
Welcome back, Pretty and Pride listeners. I'm your host, Ken.
And I'm Kiki.
And we are back at it.
On schedule.
Another week has flown by.
Yeah.
At a snail's pace. So even though we do this every week and we always report that we can't really remember, and what resonates is that we feel fine. So it must have been a good week. How was your week?
I feel fine. Yeah, I think I had a good week. I had some decisions that had to be made regarding additional work travel. That took up a good part of my brain space, I guess. I did add it to our agenda today to talk about, it's like, do I have the travel bug or do I just have FOMO? And I do just have FOMO. Okay. But I did decide to forego some additional work travel because I already have a vacation planned, and it was literally a psychotic schedule.
It was the most ridiculous.
Yeah, it was absolutely ridiculous. So I was like, I could, but I really shouldn't. So that was one thing. And then I also got elected to the board of one of the professional development associations I'm involved with. So that was really exciting. I love to do free work. So
you're just never giving yourself a rest.
No. You just keep on going. What about you? How was your week?
It was really busy, and I feel behind. I feel stressed. In this moment, I feel great, but it was a lot of deadlines and a lot of things where I'm like, whatever, that'll still be there on Monday. So
it usually will be. I always try to remind myself, I love my job. I know I have great colleagues and coworkers, but ultimately every company will still keep running even if you leave. If you die tomorrow, they'll be okay. So take it seriously enough, but don't have a heart attack about things that in the big scheme of things aren't the most important.
Yeah. I'm very adamant about, once I hit 40 hours, I'm done. I'm not someone who is trying to work beyond that. And so even though I was like, this would probably set me up real well if I were to put in an extra 5 hours or so, I was like, nah. By Thursday, I had hit 38 and a half hours. I was like, I'm going to take a couple meetings on a Friday and then I'm done for the week. So yeah, it's, that's the give and take.
The give and take, indeed.
Gotta put me first, Lucius. Gotta put me first.
I was gonna also note that we started off our week technically, since we're a Sunday through Saturday country. I'm like, are we? Yes. We started our week off by seeing Sinners finally and catching up with the rest of the discourse going on in the world. So, a lot of things happened. Well, first of all, let's just start with our feelings and thoughts around the movie.
Okay.
Loved it. I mean,
How did you not?
Everyone was dead on and correct that it was genre shifting. I don't want to say life changing, but life affirming. It was really good. What'd you think as a film buff?
I don't go to the movie theater for a number of reasons. We've talked about it, I'm pretty sure, on the pod or just in life. But it was nice to be in a theater with my $30 worth of concessions.
Yeah.
Enjoying a Black directed, predominantly Black cast film. And doing what I do all the time, whether I am in a theater or at home, talking to my sis. Throughout this movie, just I love a movie, first of all, that can center Blackness. While racism is always present, it didn't live in the same tragedy that we often see Black stories being told in.
Totally. It's so hard. Like, I can't watch 12 Years a Slave.
No,
I'm sorry. Like,
I refuse.
I'm
I
way
love Michael
too
Fassbender.
sensitive. Like, I feel that way about so many. Like, Django was maybe one of the rare instances where I could see it. And even that was really tough. But I'm like, I want to support Black stories so bad. But, like, can it not be all about the diabolical nature and torture that was slavery, chattel slavery in the United States of America? Like, please.
Even, like, just, like, servitude. What was that film that everyone else was saying where it's, like, about not The Help, but, like, the black male version of The Help?
The Butler? About the Forest Whitaker in the White House?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. And it's like, I'm
don't
just never going to watch these films.
I don't want to. Like, I want to read the synopsis. I'm going to support you. If you win the Oscar, you definitely should have. I just didn't see it.
Right? It's like, okay, I don't. Yeah. So all of that.
Also, I want to say in a similar vein, like white savior stories. Like, it's a story about Black characters, but The Blind Side. Like, I'm sorry, I don't want to. I don't want to watch a movie about how gracious and what lovely this white woman was that she saved this poor Black kid. Like, and I'm not buying it. And then it was true that it wasn't even true.
Yeah.
So, like, both of those are very difficult. All three of those, I guess, are very difficult for me to consume.
Exactly. So that's why it's nice to be able to find myself, enjoying and being able to support Black creatives.
Yeah.
I found the film was really interesting. It's like I feel like I had seen some spoilers, but I didn't feel like, I mean, we don't care if things are spoiled for us. We can still enjoy it. But I really enjoyed the cast, the direction. I had no idea where the movie was going the entire time I was watching it, even though I had seen some spoilers. I was like, what is this long setup to? Like, oh, this is just one night, basically.
Yeah.
So yeah, I thought the movie was really good. I would really like to see it again, not in theaters because I don't need to give them my money. I want to support Black creatives, but it's like I don't want to pay $30 again in concessions.
It's a lot, but I did really enjoy Delroy Lindo's character. I in all the spoilers I saw, I didn't see maybe that he was in it. Like, I didn't see him in interviews or anything. Man, his character was so dynamic, so interesting. You just couldn't stop watching him when he was on screen.
Yeah.
Of course, like I said before, Michael B. Jordan times 2. Can't miss. Brilliant.
Yeah.
I was just watching, this is an aside, but Fantastic Four, the one that he was in, and I also was watching Black Panther that he was in. So
he was in Fantastic. Never mind.
He was in the one that they tried to redo with Kate Mara and Miles Teller. You don't like Miles Teller though. He's not good in that movie. Miles Teller isn't. He's actually doesn't look like a leading man. I was watching it last night. But
wait. So there's the Jessica Alba one.
Yeah, which is so camp. They really used to do these comic book movies very campy. Like, it's not serious at all, So yeah, that one. And then they went to go do a remake of it. And it bombed at the box office.
So then, so this Michael B. Jordan one. And then now they're doing
another one with Pedro Pascal.
Do people even like this fucking franchise?
I don't know. You know what was interesting about it's called Fantastic with the 4 as the A. What's interesting about it is, like, actually the setup of how they got their powers was very interesting. It could have been it was much darker than I think some other films. It wasn't so bad, but it just, I don't know, left a lot to be desired. Anyway, speaking of the new Fantastic Four and Sinners, I want to talk about going to the movies and seeing previews, what do they call them? Trailers? Whatever, for other movies coming out. Every time I do this, I go to the movie and I see these. I'm like, I want to see that. I want to see that. And I say that for every single one, and I never end up seeing them. And I felt the same. So they have this new Jurassic World resurgence with ScarJo. It actually looks great. The lack of Chris Pratt is making it real enticing for me.
Was Mahershala Ali also in the trailer?
Yes.
Okay.
I think so. He was on a trailer for something. No, he definitely was for that specific movie. And even though I felt like we saw 10 trailers and I wanted to see all those movies, that's really the only one I remember. I forgot what else there was. Remember.
Oh my God, there was one about like F1 and Brad Pitt.
Oh yeah, I don't want to see that at all. I'm not interested.
Stop trying to make racing happen. Like, the girlies are not seeing that.
And then there was not Mission Impossible, which I need to stop talking about.
Fucking infuriating.
That's like the one that I really wanted to see. So I was a little annoyed that wasn't showing.
I need to talk about the fact that, like, I started our pod saying, like, you know what's out for me? Franchises. Out. I'm over it. Stop putting out the same movie. I think every single episode of this podcast I've only talked about franchise movies that I love.
Franchises, they're back in, baby. You know, that's the way life works. There's a swing of a pendulum and a correction. So, I completely...
I want to see that Jurassic Park movie. And this started with the Super Bowl Jurassic Park trailer that I must have been like, what? Where are we in this franchise? Are we in the beginning? Are we in the end? Are we in the middle? We both agree that Chris Pratt, no, out. Out. Don't care.
Not interested.
Not as a central character. Not even as a side character.
So it's great that he's not in it. Oh, yeah. And Jonathan Bailey is in it. And he's giving possibly straight, but also possibly gay. And I really like that. I like his gender bending. No, it's not gender bending. It's sexuality bending. Characters that he plays. Because, boy, him in Bridgerton season 2. Oh, buddy. As a certified, bona fide, self-proclaimed prude, that did something. Yeah.
Getting back to Sinners, I actually did see Delroy Lindo in a lot of like the promo. Mm-hmm. And it reminded me of the movie we watched growing up, Congo.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Gone in 60 Seconds because he's in that.
Oh my God, another great movie.
But I do remember the movie Congo, and I remember you telling me that
it's so bad.
It's so bad, but you had forgotten how bad it was, so you convinced your husband to watch it. And then
so bad.
It was humiliating because it was actually horrible. Yeah,
so bad. But he looks the exact.
He does look the exact same
from that movie.
Man, there's so many reasons to be proud to be Black, but one of them is how great they look. I mean, I was watching Wakanda Forever the other day. I was like, dude, Angela Bassett, girl. And then like she takes her queen's headdress off, and she's like, it has gray hair, and I was like, oh, you would never guess. I mean, I don't even know if she has that in real life, but she just looks so great.
I need to watch that movie.
I didn't finish it because for the same reason, like I actually am really sensitive about Black people, and I feel the same way when I rewatch Black Panther. I'm like, okay, I need to take a break. I'm feeling really, really well. Not just the fact that Chadwick has passed, but just like it's very hard to watch this movie knowing that they're going to go through the downfall, and I'm like, no, I want the Black people to win all the time, you know. Yeah. Even though technically Michael B. Jordan is also Black, and you know, I really actually I think he's the best villain. The villain I agree with most, then Thanos. But anyways. The point is I didn't finish watching it because it's hard to, it hurts my feelings a little bit. It makes me anxious.
I'm not familiar with Ryan Coogler's game as it relates to Black Panther's story, but I will say that he does an excellent job in that movie as well as in Sinners in just creating these villains that are very intriguing, where it's almost like you're like, well, actually, you know, like, Not a bad deal, actually. And, I kind of get you.
That is how you feel in Wakanda Forever, too. You're like, no, I get it. I see it. For sure. You know? So, I love a good villain. Honestly, I'm on a villain side in a lot of different films. I'm seeing their side.
Yeah. We'll talk about another villain that we're, regularly on the side of, that we've never talked about before on this podcast.
I can't imagine who we're talking about.
I loved that Smoke's love interest was a dark-skinned, voluptuous Black woman.
I agree.
I love that they brought in like hoodoo culture and just mysticism of the South. Yeah. I'm not familiar with the Mississippi Delta.
No.
In any way. I guess full stop. But I was like, man, place looks kind of gorgeous. Like,
oh my God, I could feel the heat and humidity through my screen. I was not thinking that.
I'm not thinking I want to live there.
I was like,
but yes, I was like,
it looks super racist and super hot there. Like, and I imagine it's largely the same today.
Oh, it's probably worse because it's like there's no beauty. I mean, I can't imagine there's much beauty there. I mean, the statistics on that place are terrible.
Is in the movie the one scene that I feel like. I'm sure a lot of people have talked about, but that music scene, that dancing scene, that was
the first one or the Irish one?
Not the freaking Irish one, okay?
The Irish one was good too.
The Irish one was good, but no, the one about all the Black music, like history. Oh my God, that was
insane.
That was transformational. Also, the character, the lead character, who's like that was his first movie. Like he's a new actor. I'm like, dude, he's amazing.
I'm very interested to. I haven't researched anything, but that scene where it felt like one continuous shot and the ability to like have everyone who was of the current time period and then of the other time periods thrown in there. I'm very intrigued by like
That was awesome.
how that was executed because it looked like it was one continuous shot when we were in the film or when we were in the theater. And I just was like, wow, you know, like those elements of a movie where it's like, all right, I'm rooted in this story. We're in this time period. And then all of a sudden it's like, okay, but there's otherworldly elements happening and like that are transcending this like certain plane. Yeah, I'm in. I'm invested. And then again, the pacing of the film, because like after that scene, it's like, okay, now we're back at this party. They're trying to get this money. There's blues music being played. Creeps are outside. I wouldn't let them in either.
No.
Absolutely not. Now, Remick is, you know, he was, you know, when he didn't have his red eyes and he didn't have his teeth showing and he wasn't floating up, he wasn't bad looking.
No, I'm not with you on that. I'm sure as a man in life, he looks great, but I'm sorry, I don't find a white man in 1920s Mississippi attractive. I already know whatever's happening. I don't care if you're otherworldly.
Girl, we know he is not, I mean, okay.
No, he is. He is. Okay. No, it's a no for me. And also, like, you can see the dirt on the white skin. That's just not the same. No, it looks grimy.
When he showed, in that first scene, when he shows up and he's like burning, right?
Yeah.
Like his back's burning.
Narsed.
I was like, oh, he's clearly been running through the wilderness. He's dirty. That sheen of gray never left him.
No, I was like, he's definitely a vampire.
Okay, like, you cleaned up the blood. Why didn't you take a shower? I mean, I don't know. Bath. I don't know what they had during 1930s, but yeah. I would be very interested. As someone who's like, no, don't do franchises because I don't want to continue the same person's story. I would be very interested in like Ryan Coogler's take on like what other areas vampirism, if he were ever to consider something like that. Like what did it look like in other areas of the country? Yeah, we've got this like southern area, but what would it look like in like San
Chicago. Let's go back to Chicago.
Let's go back to the mob days of Chicago.
Yeah.
Also, I'm so curious, what were they doing that entire time? What were Haley
That would be
and
so
Stack
fun to
doing?
see, especially like how they survive. I mean, I guess if it's at nighttime and you're like basically have superpowers, it's probably a lot easier, you know?
Yeah.
I loved their little 80s, 90s getup. It was so cute. So that was a great little surprise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So enjoyed it.
Would see it again. We'll see it again. Yeah, it's getting added to my rewatch list for sure.
Yeah. It was definitely something where I was like, yeah, I would enjoy rewatching this. A lot of movies where I'm like, oh, this is really great, Oscar worthy. Like, I'm not watching that again. That's not a sit down and feel good. Like, oh, I'm going to enjoy this storytelling. No.
That was a feel good one though.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Cool. Other things that happened in terms of getting to the movie. You had mentioned Ticketmaster fees to buy.
Oh my God. Okay. Yeah, I guess I just wanted to like briefly touch on like part of the other reason why, added to the list of reasons as to why I'm not interested in going to see a movie in the theaters is because there was a fee for buying the ticket ahead of time and online, which was like, I don't know who in their right mind is just raw dogging it through life, like out and about, and it's like, I'll just pop into a movie for a couple of hours and just taking the risk. I mean, everything's assigned seating now. So it's like just taking the risk that like, oh, you know, like I'll just go see what's available. And I don't even know like if it's an avoidable fee, but it seemed like they wanted to say it was a convenience fee.
No,
for
they act
booking
like it's
online.
convenient for me, but it's convenient for you. If I show up and pay cash, that's actually not convenient for you.
Right.
Someone had to tender that payment. Like, I'm tired. Yeah, it is a scam.
And then this theater doesn't even have it only has people working concession. They don't really have anyone in the actual ticket sales. You buy the ticket live and in person.
Right.
So I was really frustrated over the fact that like I thought I was gonna be going to see like a nice matinee movie, and instead I had to pay a fee for purchasing it online, a fee for the fact that you renovated and upgraded the theater. Like, I don't want to have to pay Ticketmaster fees to go see a freaking film.
I feel like though being in the theater and seeing the movie, how it's, I don't want to say meant to be seen, but more so like actually made me feel like I want to be in the theaters more. It is awesome seeing it on the big screen. It is awesome seeing it with surround sound. And like maybe I need to sign up for that stupid like AMC thing where you can see a bunch of movies a month or something. I don't know if I'd want to go that often, but like there is something that is different being in the actual theater than seeing it at home. So
Yeah. We didn't
because
get
at
to
home, I am going to pause it. I am going to get up. I am going to go to the bathroom. I am going to make myself a cup of tea. I am going to walk my dog. Like, I wanted to kind of block out. And
Okay, let's not act like you were majorly inconvenienced because you did go to the bathroom during the movie. You also brought yourself carrot chips and cucumber chips, and you brought yourself a LaCroix.
I also brought myself apples, but it's different because I have to be really conscious about, okay, when do I go? Because I'm going to miss part of this movie versus at home. I can pause it a million times and go on TikTok. Like, I'm being a little more mindful about when I go to the restroom. So yeah, I'm like, but yeah, there's 5 minutes of that movie I won't see until the next time I watch it at home. So,
yeah. We didn't get to see it in IMAX, which is probably a disappointment because I think it was filmed intentionally for that.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, we didn't talk about this, but like I would also be very interested in like a very separate story of Ryan Coogler if you were interested in continuing this, because I just love the lore. Like I want to know more about the lore of this world he's built, because you mentioned this on your TikTok. It's like black vampires, innovative. That's new. That's fresh. Like I'm interested in that. But I would be very interested in a story around like the Choctaws, like how they like as the police of vampires, essentially. Like they're out here trying to like, for whatever reason, keep the white man safe from the vampires, and like that was their primary.
Yeah,
that
I
seemed
feel
like their
they
objective.
were probably just protecting their own land. I don't know what they were doing, and that is interesting,
Yeah, like,
but they said that's not my business at the end.
They were like,
I tried to tell you, so whatever, enjoy it.
Yeah, sun's setting later. Good luck. Good riddance.
Good riddance.
Especially because it's like, okay, well, these two clans members, all of a sudden there is this element of like, okay, well, we're not part of the clan anymore. Now we just want to like murder people and like have you join our family, right?
Yeah.
Like we want to expand this family of togetherness and unison. So it's like, okay, well, what would be the like primary objective that's motivating the Choctaw to like keep humanity safe from vampires in some way?
I think the other thing on that is that like they made it seem like that when you became a vampire, you are really connecting with a spirit that's already been passed and lost.
Yes.
And you're not still yourself.
Correct.
But then at the end, when you see Stack and whoever Haley Steinfeld, whatever her name, Mary or something, that obviously wasn't entirely true because they still wanted to be with each other, so they were still largely themselves. And you also see that in the fact that she's upset that Annie passes because she wants them all to be together. And so I thought that was interesting. Like the lore of vampirism that was understood at that time, at least, was not maybe necessarily the truth, because he was still Stack when he went to go visit his cousin. He still didn't kill his cousin. He remembered, you know what I mean? Like, so it wasn't just he was a body taken over by another spirit. He was still his own spirit.
Well, now that you're saying that, like, when I think about Mary's character and her motivation and desire for this sense of community and family, I think part of that is, or part of the undercurrent of that is the fact that because she's white passing and she's actually living in white passing like spaces, because she isn't black enough, right? She has the secret of the fact that she's just passing. She's not white enough to fully be white, right? So like she needs that connection, I think, more than like the individuals who have very rooted identities in their culture.
Yeah.
Where like, Annie's like, I'm good, the Choctaw, no thanks, and I would say even Remick, like, he's connected to all these people, but like his primary motivation is probably his own, fully rooted, but it's gotten lost in his continuous like connection to other cultures, where now it's like expanded. Whereas I think the communities within the film that have like very solid lines around their ancestral cultures would, they're fine just keeping that connection.
Yeah.
That's my thought.
Interesting.
Yeah. Anywho, I love fantasy. I love action.
Yeah.
So,
And I do love horror, but I wouldn't call that horror.
I wouldn't. The scariest part was when
thriller.
he saw that snake.
That was
Jumped, girl.
Pretty terrifying.
Woo! Yeah. It is May 10th. last time we sat down, we talked about how the only place I could watch the Mission Impossible franchise for this rewatch in anticipation of the final mission, which actually may or may not be the final mission. It's just
It's actually called Final
Reckoning.
Reckoning, not necessarily Final Mission. It's just a follow-up to the last movie.
I wanted to circle back because I was able to. So I shared that I had a beef with Prime because they had this whole convoluted thing as it related to my Prime subscription. I have credit cards that pay for Prime. I didn't want to, out of my own pocket, give Jeff Bezos any money. Now, in a similar vein, I have a credit card that gives me Walmart Plus subscription for free. And as part of this free Walmart Plus subscription, I also get a free Paramount Plus subscription. And I took full advantage of that when I was digging around trying to find me Mission Impossible 7 so I could watch the next film in the franchise. And I now have a free Paramount Plus subscription through my free Walmart Plus subscription, so I don't feel like I'm giving the Waltons any money either. Okay. So I was able to watch Mission Impossible 7, which I have largely forgotten, or had largely forgotten.
Yeah.
Remembered most of the primary points. It's called Dead Reckoning.
Yes.
And in this film, and I forgot until I was watching it, I did not love this film as part of the reinvigorated franchise that we have from 4 through 6, primarily because they keep talking about this thing called the Entity. And also the villain in this story, which is a alien predator sounding computer that occasionally is like creating sound waves as you watch it, and also this other gentleman who I'm not familiar with, and I don't even remember his name, Gabriel, in the movie. Just not very intriguing. Not very
I haven't seen it in a while, so I'm not sure.
You know, everyone wants to cause chaos in these Mission Impossible movies. Solomon Lane, I get him. You know, he's an agent. He's like, these people have been using us. I don't understand why their causes are more, are greater than anyone else's causes. They need a new world order. Now they're crazy. They're crazy, but I couldn't really invest in 7 as much as I could in 4, 5, and 6.
Yeah.
I'm really upset with some of the decisions they made in that movie, so I'm interested to see how they wrap up this reckoning of the Entity in the 8th installment of this franchise. But that was my general takeaway of my rewatch. My second takeaway, Solomon Lane looks like a completely different person in Ghost Protocol compared to, in Rogue Nation compared to Fallout.
Yeah, he looks like he's been bopped around from country to country and and tortured.
Rogue Nation with no beard, no mustache, bare naked face, and like incestual chin. Different man than the guy with the beard
standing next to Henry Cavill.
Standing next to Henry Cavill with just, fucking fuck it eyes, you know? So that was also an interesting thing. I was like, is this even the same person? Like, can a beard really change a man's face that much?
It's easier to tell when you're watching it back to back. When you're watching it year across year, you're like, oh, this is a sequel. Also, last week you said that it Ghost Protocol is on Hulu, but I only watch Hulu through Disney, and so it's not on there. So I logged in, eager beaver on Sunday with my greedy little raccoon hands, ready to watch Ghost Protocol, and it wasn't there. Awful. So I rewatched Ratatouille instead. It's actually been a while since I've seen that movie. It's a little wild.
It's insane. It's insane. It's an insane film.
It's a little crazy. Everyone in that movie's actually a little crazy, you know? Like,
fuck. I'm like,
the rat, he's like up there on the roof. Remy's like grilling stuff. Like, he's like, I need some saffron for this. Like, it's a little crazy, you know? Yes, but it's still so cute. I still love that movie.
Just a crazy movie. When my husband and I were watching it, I'm like, how is this everyone's favorite freaking film?
It's so cute.
Like, it's an insane
Now,
premise.
getting Patton Oswalt to voice Remy, that's interesting. Yeah, I still love the movie. It's so cute. But I'm like, the fact that he saw the shadow of the rat underneath Linguini's toque, but you would still... You're not thinking that he wasn't insane, But like, you should think you're insane before you start going to pull hats off of people to see if there's a rat underneath their hat. Because what if there was a rat under his hat? You know, there's no way that he leapt to the assumption that the rat was pulling his hair to control his body movements. So it's kind of like, but I guess he says that he thought he was trying to drive him insane. He had seen a rat in Linguini. He had killed a rat Linguini's first night, so he was trying to like mind fuck him by making this rat show up everywhere. But even so, it's like, yeah, anyways, this is crazy, but I still love that movie. It's still one of the best and has a great soundtrack.
Yeah, it's a wild time. I'll probably have to rewatch it to get like a second take on it, but I need to get back into my Aristocats Rescuers Down Under bag.
Good ones.
Disney Plus, unfortunately, does not sync up with Hulu the way that I wish it would, because Hulu's interface is annoying to me. I like the Disney interface better a little bit. So.
Okay, my hard way. Shit hurt me every day. Get on my knees, pray. I'm trying to find another way. I gotta get up out the jungle. Niggas killing just to eat. Them lies ain't playing fair, so it's been getting I don't give my heart away. This shit hurt me every day. I get on my knees and pray. I'm trying to find another way.
So this is really boring.
Which part?
What I'm about to say. For the first time in my life, I went to a Sam's Club. Now, I've always wanted to go to a Sam's Club. I told you this story because in elementary school, when gel pens were really big, a girl brought in the coolest pack of gel pens, and she bought them at Sam's Club, but I had never been to one before. Luckily, she was a good girl, and she bought me one too. So thank you. I don't remember your name, but you've made a lasting impact on my life regardless. So we went yesterday. I didn't get to see the whole thing. It's distinctly different from Costco, for sure. The vibes are not the same. It was not as busy as Costco. It was probably because it's not somewhere you want to be as much. Like at Costco, I could just go to Costco. It's just something about Costco, you know? But it was cool to see the different products, the similar products, but the different flavors that Sam's Club offered. I would like to spend some time in there. But most importantly, we tried their rotisserie chicken. That was my first go. I thought it was pretty good. So if you guys are wondering about the difference between the Sam's Club chicken and the Costco rotisserie chicken, comparable enough. So, and both $5. So
what I will say is that I'm now reminded of the fact that I have given the Waltons money because I did get a Sam's Club membership.
But you got it on discount.
That's true. And then what I also would like to say is that the difference between Costco and Sam's Club is very reminiscent of the current discourse of 100 British men versus 100 American men. Okay. Costco is a civilized place that 100 British men are the, correlation. Sam's Club reminds me of the 100 American men.
I can't get behind this because of the beans on toast. I'm sorry. With British cuisine, it has to be 100 French men or 100 Italian men.
No. I'm talking about like if you were to put the like make a correlation, right? I mean, I love Costco, right? Where would you rather be? I would rather be in Europe. I would rather be there, right? I'd much rather be at Costco, right?
But not around men.
Okay. But what I think is, continuously reminded to the Brits is that these are two stores in the same city, in the same country, vastly different people.
Right.
Vastly different people. You just never know what you're going to get. Mixed bag over here in the U.S. And so my analogy is to say that, like, over at Costco, things are, they have a different vibe, different feel, different air. I feel like anything can be popping off at a Sam's Club at any time.
Yeah.
Right? Costco, it's like everyone's pretty much just, they're rolling their carts, they're moving along, It's
like you
nothing
definitely
too crazy is
know
going to happen.
That they pay their employees well at Costco. You can feel that air walking in there.
People enjoy being there.
The clientele was a little different. Mm-hmm. It was different. Mm-hmm. To me, it's reminiscent of how Target used to be and how Walmart used to be. Now, I don't know because I haven't been to Target in a really long time. But this is totally an aside, but I have enjoyed seeing Walmart actually usurp Target in their stock price, just because that's what you effing get, Target. So in your face.
Again, we didn't have expectations for Walmart,
That's
so
what
we
I
can't
say
be
the whole
disappointed.
time. I'm not disappointed in them. I've always thought the Waltons were evil, and I always thought Walmart was a trash corporation. You never pretended to care. You were never, Target really played in our face. So like Walmart, I'm like, I can get behind still shopping at Walmart for that exact reason. You've told me you're evil since I was born. Thank you for being true to yourself. Target, you pretended to be good. You pretended to be the good guy. You pretended to be Hans and Frozen.
The family in Get Out.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
You invited us in and made us some tea, told us you
Welcomed your
voted for
black
Obama.
children. Yeah, exactly. So, but yes, what I do still want to go back to Sam's Club though. But
yeah, the difference in some of the food alone is like, I paid $25. Now, what I don't love about Sam's Club is that because I don't want to be there, I end up clocking in for my shift and using the scan as you go option.
That was so annoying, and I wasn't even doing any of the scanning or the going.
So, it's like I don't do self-checkout, right?
Yeah.
Like I don't like the premise that corporations want us to be their employees for free because they don't want to pay their employees an actual wage. So I always opt for like having someone actually check me out to like continue validating the fact that like, no, I don't want to be an employee and you need to just pay your employees. But because you don't want to be in Sam's Club, it's like, nah, let's just scan. Now, I really need to try the pretzel. That's the one thing that like, I know what Costco's got on deck for their food court. I need to try the Sam's Club food court.
Yeah. Also, the things that I purchased at Sam's Club were actually still more expensive than Costco.
Yes.
So I wasn't, whatever. The vibe was off. The stuff was more expensive, but it is new. And sometimes new is fun. That's the way it goes. So anyways, do you want to get into the Met Gala?
Yes.
Okay. So because I am on my 1 hour a day TikTok
Oh my God.
limitation, I haven't been able to be as deep into my favorite fashion bloggers.
We've switched places. I'm now constantly on this app.
I know.
Are getting
it's really
days
hard.
late.
Like I'm actually going to go on here right now really quickly because I need to just say who my favorite ones that I would have watched all their Met Gala content, but I'm wasting my precious time even explaining this. So number one is Olivia Lane, and then the second one is, I feel like her name's I'm wasting my hours. Anyways, I'll find the other one and I don't know.
I just love the idea that like every so often you're just like putting up new challenges to just test yourself. You're like, okay, this month it's only 1 hour of TikTok. Next month it's, no dairy and no carbs.
It's not for no reason. It's not just out of it's because I have a lot of things that I need to be focused. I need to be hyper-focused so that I can come into this next season of my life. And TikTok is distracting me from that. How am I going to do all the things that I'm supposed to do with my job, with this podcast, with now my new
venture,
elected role? Like I have a bunch of things that I am doing, and like the time I spend on TikTok is distracting me from investing time into other arenas. So I need to get right for the next 30 days, and then we'll go back. So yeah, there's a reason behind it. But anyways, I haven't been able to, but I have seen some of the Met Gala outfits, but I'm very interested in what I want to talk about.
Yeah. I mean, no new hot takes over here. I think the highlights are that clearly Black people, for the most part, understood the fucking assignment, as always.
Yeah. White people was like business casual.
Phoned it in.
Like
barely.
Someone said that it was like because white people don't know how to celebrate Black people without being racist, and so they were like, "I'm just gonna play it safe." Like, why'd you even show up with your 9-to-5 skirt? Like, now you're going to happy hour with your colleagues after. Like, get out of here with that boring stuff. Yeah. But Joey King for the whites did her thing.
She fucking showed up. That might be one of my favorite fits. Her and Jodie Turner-Smith. Mm-hmm. Oh my God. Phenomenal. So Joey King looked amazing. That color, first of all, her hair, I feel like she understood what was going on. She did. Jodie Turner-Smith also phenomenal. That color is not a color that I feel like I would just naturally
I feel like I
gravitate
didn't see
to.
her.
But it looked so rich and luxurious, especially with her complexion. Just gorgeous. I feel like the white people in attendance.
Oh, yes, I did see her.
I'm going to talk about the fact that, like, to them, tailoring is a suit. Okay. They clearly ignored the black dandyism. I'm not a fashion person myself. Like, I'm not, surprise, surprise. I'm not like, ooh, dandyism. I know exactly what that is. But I feel like, as someone who doesn't know, if I were invited to an event like that, or if I was invited to any type of event and it was themed, or the dress code was a certain, requirement that I wasn't aware of, I would go to fucking Google and I would, find out a little bit of research, watch a couple YouTube videos. There's got to be someone out there who knows, right?
Because I'm going to end up on the best dress list. Also, they pay to go to the Met Gala.
And also, it's like, if you dressed Hailey Bieber,
that's embarrassing for you.
Like, that's upsetting for you. Because,
not that you dressed her, but the fact that that's what she wore. Like, it looks like she went into her mom's closet. She went to our mom's closet.
Like, okay.
Something that she wore.
And it's just like, 95. If you as the celebrity don't know what black dandyism is, I would have some hope or faith that, like, the design house or the place where you're going to get this, fit would be like, no, girl, like, that's not it.
That's not it.
That's not it at all. But apparently, no. That wasn't happening. Miley Cyrus also, like, I like no. Heidi Klum actually fucking pissed me off. Like, that dress was, first of all, it wasn't even a good dress. And second of all, like, you of all people should have actually really, I think, tried, because we know how hard you try for this Halloween party that you have every fucking year. Like, we know how invested you are in this stupid worm costume and all this other ugly shit you put on every fucking Halloween.
What is this?
We love.
This is just a black dress.
It's a terrible black dress. It's not even tailored nicely. I was very pissed. But you know what, white people, whatever. Who cares? Okay, the other thing that I want to talk about are the men. Okay.
Before we go to the men, I want to talk about Zendaya.
Oh, yes. We have to talk about... Well, I wanted to talk about La Roche. Zendaya. Yeah. Go ahead.
I think that... Well, one, I thought the tailoring of her suit looked really nice. I think Zendaya always does so much that, like, you always expect the most from her. I think the fact that someone else was wearing the same outfit as her... Here's what I think happened. I think it's a scheme set up by Todd. And I think that they...
Todd?
That's a Real Housewives of Atlanta quote. That someone leaked her outfit because, in the beginning when Law and Zendaya started working together, to get Zendaya more notice, he would always have her wear the same outfit as someone so that she would end up on the Who Wore It Best list. That was like part of it. So I think someone leaked their outfit details so that this person that wore the same suit was linked to Zendaya.
Yeah.
That's my
also,
theory.
That's really, great, because it was very successful for Law, and he shared that little tidbit, and someone else clearly took that note and said, yeah, I'm going to do the same. I don't know who this woman is.
Neither.
The difference between Christian Dior and Louis Vuitton, it's like, okay, like, I also feel, my thought is, like, I don't think a white suit is that groundbreaking from either of them. So it's like, it's a safe thing that would have been, I think, like, oh, this is, an interesting take on this. And I feel like, I guess it's like, it's not copying enough where I feel like, oh, this feels like you would have had to have leaked this because there's no way someone else would have shown up in a white suit. You know what I mean?
They looked almost exactly the same.
I mean, Zendaya's was a very different, the suit looked phenomenal, but, like, I was very... I feel like if the idea was we're going to do something different, because I'm expecting that there's going to be a lot of capes, that there are going to be, a lot of color, and we're going to do something that's, like, starkly unique. So you're going to be in this all white pearl sheen, very tailored suit, so that it's still stand out and unique. Like, I can understand that, but I do think it was missing something at the end of the day, but from both of them. Like, they were white suits. They were fine. She looked fine, but she was definitely outshined by the fact that, like, other people were just wearing the theme a little bit better. But my point is like, anyone could have worn a white suit. It's like, you know, Heidi, we didn't even talk about Demi Moore's tie dress, which I appreciate the fact that she tried. Honestly, it was just weird. Not weird, but it was just like, okay, it's a very campy take on that in some ways. I don't know if Zendaya's responded at all to this.
Responded to what? What's there to respond to? She wore a dress. She wore a suit to an event.
I mean, I don't know. Just anything. I thought Anna looked beautiful, loved the event, loved being able to celebrate. She could say anything. I love being able to celebrate the fine, you know, history of blah, blah, blah.
Sure, but it's not like it's a scandal. Like, what is she going to say? Like, someone wore the same thing as me? Like,
no, but I mean, it's just like, I don't know. Just
has anyone else come out and said anything? I don't think anyone says anything after these events.
I think Anna said something.
Anna Wintour?
No. I think her name is Anna Sawai or...
Well, yeah, probably because she benefits the most out of any sort of
for sure.
recognition. So yeah, you would say something.
I feel like, yeah. I wonder, so I wanted to talk about more like, what do I think that, what, you know, I wonder what the dynamics are like, you know, like how it feels. Because I would imagine that if I was La Roche, I would be like, oh my fucking God. I feel like that's probably a stylist's worst nightmare.
Yeah.
So I wonder if Zendaya's like, it's whatever, you know, Tom wasn't here, so who cares? I don't really care, you know, I don't know. Like, I don't know how much she cares about this stuff.
Yeah.
But it's like, I would be like,
I mean, when you have literally like a decade of hits, like at some point someone's going to have you know, like it's not everyone can be a home run. Like, so, yeah. But I still thought she looked really nice. And her and Tom don't often go to events together anyways.
Oh yeah. He's probably like, I don't want to fucking go to that. She's like, I barely want to go to that. Okay. Moving on from Zendaya and the suit, Teyana Taylor, I think, released a statement. So there was this other scandal around the fact that this really famous actor was at this event and people didn't recognize who he is. I didn't know who the hell this. I don't know who most of these people are. Mm-hmm. I don't follow culture like that. We don't have kings and queens over here, so other than, you know, Queen Bee, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Like,
and King Venchi.
Yeah. So I just keep thinking about that Kiki Palmer meme where it's like, I've never seen this man. I don't know who this man is. Sorry to that man. Like, I've never seen him before. You could have $1 billion. Doesn't mean I'm going to know who the fuck you are. And it doesn't mean I'm going to treat you or act any differently.
You know, this is like a total aside, but I was just thinking about this because I was thinking about Batman. And I was thinking about how I think it's The Dark Knight Rises. No, it might be...
try to remember the difference.
It might be the original The Dark Knight. I don't know. The one where he takes the ballerinas on the boat because he needs to set up an alibi for why he's in this one town that the Batman is going to do something in. And I was thinking, why the hell would anyone know where Bruce Wayne was anyways? And like, who's connecting the fact, well, Bruce Wayne was there, so he must be Batman? Because the truth is that I know he's a good-looking billionaire, but like most times, like, I have no idea where Jeff Bezos is, and he's not good-looking. But like, I don't even know who some of the billionaires in the world are. So the fact that Bruce is like papped so much apparently in this world that he has to have an alibi for why he could be in Hong Kong because Batman's going to rob this facility or, you know, fight crime at this facility is insane. So I was just thinking that because whoever you're talking about, I'm guessing, thinks that they should have attention because they're a billionaire and you don't know who he is. So we wouldn't have known why Batman was in Hong Kong or not. Anyways.
Yeah. So the quote unquote controversy is that for the first time, a Bollywood actor was invited to walk the Met Gala carpet.
Okay.
His name is Shah Rukh Khan. I don't know who this person is. I only know because this is the discourse that took place on TikTok. Teyana Taylor and another actress, Ego, I don't know her last name. My bad. Again, I'm not following pop culture this closely. So they were the hosts on behalf of Vogue for people on the Met Gala carpet. Also, Teyana Taylor fucking killed it. That fucking burgundy do-rag, that outfit, oh my God, so good. So they were in charge of interviewing all of these like attendees and conducting these interviews. So Shah Rukh Khan is the fourth richest man in the world. Fourth richest actor, my apologies. Fourth richest actor or something like that. He is a huge Bollywood celebrity. And so it's not so much, I don't think that the discourse or the upset is coming from him so much as like the, people who are aware of him, his fans, the South Asian community that feels like, how is it that you interviewers don't know who this man is? And it's like, okay, because a lot of people don't know who a lot of people are, and these are not professional journalists. We've talked about this on that other red carpet where it's like, you get these people who this is not their job, and even people who maybe they are trained in this, it's like, they are not familiar. And again, like what kind of reception do you really want for this person?
Right.
So it was giving a lot of anti-blackness from the community at large that was upset over the interview, because there was nothing necessarily wrong with the interview, but it was more about like the narrative was really around like, how do you guys not know who this person is, and how are you not paying reverence? Mind you, this is the first time that a Bollywood actor has been invited to the Met Gala, and the reason why is because now there's more representation among the committee that throws this fucking event.
Oh, interesting.
Anyway, yeah, that's why the theme is what it is. They're in charge of the guest list. There were a few snubs of people who I thought like could have been there but weren't. But yeah, so that's the controversy around the Shah Rukh Khan, Teyana Taylor interview. And I know there's another actress I'm assuming she might be an actress. She was another interviewer. I just don't know her last name. But again, if you saw this man, if I saw a lot of even our own homegrown American pop culture celebrities walking down the street, I'm not going to recognize them.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to do anything about it. Like, I'm not looking for them. I'm not going to realize who they are. I might not have ever seen a film that they're in. It's like, if I saw Barry Keogh or whatever, it's
Keoghan.
like, whatever the fuck his name is, it's like, what am I going to do? Like, and again, he's just an actor, but it's like, if I saw Tom Cruise, okay, out in the wild, like, what am I doing?
Waving?
Probably not. I'm probably like, oh my God, that's Tom Cruise. Oh my God, that's Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's Tom Cruise. We have a lot of like, we don't import other cultures' cinema the same way that like we consume our own. And so like, I barely am going to recognize my own, cultural icons, so to speak. I'm definitely not going to know every single icon in the world, like a K-pop star. I have no idea.
Yeah, that's true.
No idea who any of them are. That's just because that's not what I'm tapped into. So
I feel that.
Other than the best dressed at the Met Gala, I loved the fact that the theme was the theme that it was. I thought it was more interesting. I thought it was exciting. I thought the white people phoned it in. Shakira, she tried, but no. I don't count her as, full. I don't count her as like among the whites that I'm talking about when I'm saying this, but still not good. And I thought the men also did an amazing job to show out for the theme.
Which is shocking.
Which is shocking. Bad Bunny looked really good. I thought, oh my God, what is that guy's name? I'm never going to remember. I'm never going to remember any of these people's names. Jalen Hurts and his wife, his fiance were there. They looked good. Dwayne Wade and Gabrielle Union. I liked his fit. I don't know that I loved hers, but it was like supposed to be matching couples fit. Anywho, interesting Met Gala. Anna Wintour, boring lady. I can't wait for someone else to be the editor of Vogue, because it's like that lady is just so boring to me. She didn't try either, but I did love her coat.
The one thing I love about Anna Wintour is that she loves Meghan Markle. So
Yeah. And she won't invite Trump to the Met Gala.
Great. Good for her.
She hasn't invited him back.
I can't wait to be further on TikTok and really catch up on some of these looks. But you gave me a lot to Google, so there's that.
Yeah. I will say, unfortunately, Megan Thee Stallion miss on her
Well,
look.
they didn't tailor her right. So her outfit was beautiful, but they didn't tailor her top correctly, I feel like.
Didn't tailor it right. Also, I feel like she could have done something really interesting and exciting. I know that she consumes a lot of like fashion influence, and I think I was disappointed, unfortunately, in her fit. Cardi B looked pretty cool too. I really liked her. She reminded me of Poison Ivy.
Yeah.
The way her hair
I
was
liked her outfit
styled
too.
and like that green color on her reminded me of how Uma Thurman's character was promoted.
I love Megan's hair. It's beautiful.
Megan's hair was cool. Nicki Minaj looked boring, but whatever. Rihanna's got another bun in the oven. Like,
for her.
surprise, surprise. So someone said, at this point, I'm not going to be surprised if she just names her third child Music so that she can say she dropped new music. It's like, okay, let it go. She's a billionaire. She doesn't need to make
She can
albums
do what she
anymore.
wants now.
Yeah.
I don't fear no man, but I'ma still put 60 in this Drake. Set it off like Queen Latifah, nigga playing with my cake. Split the bag up with my brother, 50-50 what we made. I can't let no nigga eat that ain't contribute to this plate. Run it up, I just need.
Let's get into our weekly ins and outs.
Okay.
I don't know that I have any. So I'll start by asking you, do you have any?
Okay, yeah. My in
Okay.
for this week, Black people. I know they're always in, but Sinners, banger. Met Gala, banger. We've had a banger of a week. So I gotta give them the flowers they deserve. Give us the flowers we deserve. So yeah, Black people are in for me this week.
Okay.
Also, again, I'm gonna say it. King Venchi. That album is so good. Another great Black accomplishment. So yeah.
Yeah. Okay. In for me this week is all of the homegrown patriotism that this debate between 100 Americans versus 100 Brits has brought. There are a few things that make me feel patriotic. And by few, I mean like maybe two. The Olympics for some freaking weird reason. Although we've talked about like there's a tier system. Okay, like if the U.S. is not in something, I'm rooting for the country with black people,
black people,
right?
yes.
That represents blackness. Okay, if the U.S. is in it, I'm still probably rooting for them, but I'm not going to be mad if the U.S. wins, you know?
Right.
Now, if the U.S. is against any of the European countries, now depending on their black representation, and anyways, there's a whole system.
There is. Also, who's most attractive in this scenario?
yes,
You know,
okay.
if it's I don't know, what's the javelin toss or the javelin throw, and it's just white guy.
Yeah,
Whose country has the least amount of racism from my perspective?
Yes.
You know,
What is the colonial history of your country like?
Exactly.
Okay.
Or like you're horrible colonizers, but it just seems like you hate black people. I'm looking at you, Italy. You know, so like there is a system, and it's all up here, baby.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like I'm never gonna root for Argentina.
Or
okay?
Spain.
Or Spain.
Spain, you're out.
And I technically can never also root for South Africa. I don't care how black representative
Correct.
your country is. So it's like, you know, like there's layers. There's layers. But I feel somewhat of a sense of patriotism when I watch the USA men's basketball team
dominate
in the Olympics.
Yes.
Similarly, there's something about this discourse and discussion where I'm like, England is out of their fucking minds if they think that they can possibly comprehend the depth of our bench over here. And I've seen similarly that my brothers and sisters across all political lines, across all races, here in America, we feel very similarly. England, there's just no way. And so I've enjoyed that, I got to take a little bit of a break from the fact that our country's falling apart.
Truly
Life
lovely.
is tough. And that we all get to agree on at least this one thing, that there's just no chance in hell.
We would kick their ass. Yeah, for sure.
And what I've also...
Born and bred for violence over here.
like just suffering on a daily basis. What I also like is that I've been reminded of not too long ago, there was a Montgomery brawl.
Oh, the best.
That was when
That was like second
Twitter,
Juneteenth.
Like when Twitter was
Pre-Juneteenth. It was the best.
The best. Yeah, so
He flew that hat up like a flag to call the ancestors, both past, present, and future, to help him. I mean, I still think about getting a folding chair tattooed on me because that really was. I mean, and then they arrested the white people after all of that. Wow, that was one of those things where it's like you feel like the country's healing again. Another
we were misled, but yes.
Yeah, another red herring and what was actually going to happen. But wow, what a time to be alive.
Yeah, yep. So that's in for me this week. For whatever reason, it's like I got to take a little bit of a break. You know, I got to connect with my fellow Americans.
Love that.
You know, feel a little bit of patriotism in the fact that there's just no fucking way. Someone said the Boston Harbor still smells like Earl Grey. It's just like, we're just hilarious.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've enjoyed that. So yeah.
Sweet.
That's it.
Cool.
Do you have anything that's out for you this week?
Out for me this week is my 6-month car insurance policy went up by $125. That's out. And I think it's because they heard me say
Clearly.
a couple episodes ago that my life got significantly better every time I had a car accident. So they know I'm scheming, scamming, and plotting to have another little come up. And they said, let's preemptively start getting a little more cash in our door from this clear liability. So that's out. But yeah. What about for you? No outs?
No,
Do you have such a certificate?
What was I doing when I was thinking about how Charlie's like just dumb, happy idiot?
Yeah.
Yeah, out for me this week is Project Planner. It is a Microsoft app. My team has started implementing that at work, which is like, I think if I was using it as an individual, would be fun, fine, helpful, useful. I would like that. What I don't like is someone assigning tasks to me. And then it's showing up as, you've been assigned a task by so-and-so. There's just something about it where it's like, I know in work, someone leads a project and they manage like, okay, here's the expectations, here's the timelines, and they can outline that. And I'm like, okay, yes, I understand. And I figure out like, okay, to meet this is what I need to do. There's something very difficult for my ego to grasp in it being done in some type of reminder style checklist that someone else is tagging me to. I need to work on that because I don't think that there's an escape hatch for me on that. But I didn't enjoy it this week.
Sorry.
Now, mind you, these are things I already said I was going to do. I want to be able to tag my own self in things, you know? I don't want someone else to be thinking that they can tell me what to do. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Yeah.
Well, maybe just see it as taking a load off, you know? You don't have to, if they didn't tag you in it, it's not your responsibility, you know? Try to see the positive in this.
Yeah, but don't set my deadlines for me. You know, tell me what the deadlines are and let me put the task in. That's
it's wrong audience, but maybe they'll understand, you know?
I know I'm speaking to the worst possible fucking person I could be talking to about this because I'm sure you are over there assigning tasks like a mad general.
As
like
a project
Napoleon.
manager and as a people manager, all I do is assign tasks.
No. But yeah, like it's wrong person. I'm sure no sympathy. I'm sure, but yeah, it's an adjustment. It's certainly an adjustment for me.
Well, check yourself before you wreck yourself, as they used to say.
I really want to wreck myself sometimes.
I'm going to take you bitches down with me when I do it.
Sometimes I want to be that dude on that dog. Just like, you know what?
He said, not today, he's saying.
Fucking done.
White devils. Oh, gosh.
So.
Wow. Thank you for the reminder of such a great moment in American history, honestly.
Yeah.
No wonder they're trying to change the history books, because I would cement that in right now. We're talking about it. I would write a whole lesson plan. Actually, I am going to do it just for fun.
You know what? I would love someone to do a series of some sort. Create some type of list of just like the most memorable moments of Twitter where it was like, that was the best day on Twitter. Like there's like the Queen's death.
21 Savage is actually from the
21
UK.
Savage being from the UK.
Softy. That was really high up there.
It's like, right? It's like, I need someone to just kind of like put it together, like, okay, here's the highlights, right?
And then like,
and then we need to be, like, okay, now we got to start archiving because they're going to take the, Smithsonian Black History Museum. They're going to kind of try and see what they can rewrite over there. Of course, our people are great archivists. We need to start keeping track of some of the things that, man, Twitter had a time that day.
Mm-hmm. Okay. You should do that. Take the reins. Be in control of your own destiny.
I was like not even barely online, just got TikTok for the first time. Old as shit. Like
on this day.
Well, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, I think that's it for this week.
Shit else to talk to you about.
Yeah, what's going on? What's coming up? Tomorrow's Mother's Day. Next week we have Foodie Club. I'm taking Bino to the vet. So we'll see what, anything can crop up in our week, but it was nice catching up with you and memorializing it in video and in audio format.
Yeah. I do want to say before we close this out that I put on this shirt today. Mm-hmm. Okay. Independent of you walking into my door and wearing the exact same color. So you and I psychically linked.
Not exactly. I was going to wear a like coral version of this exact same shirt, but I spilled some smoothie on it earlier this week and I didn't put my my stain removing pen on it. So as soon as I put it on and I saw that smoothie drip was still there, I took it off and I put on the yellow version of the shirt because I'd already done my eyeshadow. The eyeshadow coordinates with the shirt. So I have my reason. That's fate. It might not be psychic, but it's fate.
Okay, well, given the fact that you probably woke up earlier in the day than me making all of these decisions about your shirt, I'm going to just assume that I psychically tapped into the fact that you're wearing canary yellow and I need to put on my canary yellow shirt.
That could be true because actually when I first woke up and I was getting ready to go to Pilates, I put on my Megan Thee Stallion Hot Girl Summer Tour t-shirt, which is also yellow. And then I thought, I don't want to wear this big old shirt to Pilates, so I put on a tank top. So, and then I put on another yellow shirt. So yeah, I think that's definitely what happened.
Yeah, because I originally was going to wear a tight white shirt with this jean outfit look.
Very
but
cute.
I was like, you know what? No, canary yellow for some reason. I haven't worn that shirt. I feel like it'll be a good cut for the jeans.
It's a great cut.
So yeah, last thing, you can put this anywhere or drop this. But earlier this week, I had an experience that I forgot to talk about where I woke up and I was brushing my teeth and I was like thinking about it. I thought about a friend who doesn't live near me anymore and we had a falling out, but we made up. And I was like, oh, I haven't spoken to her in a little bit. I should reach out to her. Literally, I was brushing my teeth. I'm not kidding you. Like a couple hours later, she texted me to tell me that she was engaged.
Oh.
Yeah. I was like,
congrats to her.
I've got feelers out into the universe somehow.
Yeah.
Like I'm tapped in. It might be because I didn't go to the catacombs.
Definitely.
I didn't get my spirit
that would have blocked
interrupted.
you. Mm-hmm. What's so funny is that I feel like that happens to me. Not like I told last week I was saying that if I don't do something right when I think it, I'll forget. And also because the timing of my life doesn't work out. I wake up, it's 4 a.m. and I'm thinking I need to reach out to that friend. That's not a good time. That's rude. So I wait. Or I think about it right before bedtime, which is bedtime for me, but is everyone else's normal.
Dinner time for most.
Yeah, dinner time. But I'm like, no, I don't want to start a conversation. I want to text someone and then fall asleep and not text them back. So I need to text them.
Power move.
Power move. So what's annoying to me actually is when I think of, oh, I need to text that person, and then I don't, and then they text me first. Like, no, I was thinking about you. I'm the better friend, okay? But it is something that is like, so because of that, because I feel like I've been one-upped and usurped a little too many times recently, I was like, you know what? Everyone's responsible for themselves. Turn your phone on D&D because I'm coming for you at 3 a.m., all right? If I'm thinking about it, you're getting a text message from me, buddy.
Yeah, and that is how Dad lost the war.
That is how Dad lost the war. That is it. And it's ongoing, Well, cool.
So yeah, thanks for coming over.
You're welcome.
Sorry for interrupting the outro.
That's fine. I probably won't move that around because I don't like to do all that work when I edit. But it was a fun time. Thank you for joining us. Stay pretty.
Stay prideful. Especially, most expeditiously,
Most ardently.
most ardently, if you're black.
You can't finesse. Bitch, I move smart like a motherfucking Tesla. I'm clutching this Glock, do I look like a wrestler? Get put on your back, tryna act like a flexer. Hold on, wait, this Glock take 'em out like a date. She give me the pussy, I just want the face. Fuck her real good, put the bitch in her place. I'm high in the bitch, but my mind up in space.